Hey, welcome to the Leadership Lab podcast, where we're developing the heart and soul of leaders. My name is Jeremiah.
And I'm Bianca, and today's conversation, we're going to be talking about not just another day.
Not just another day.
Yeah, treating every day as though it is important.
Yes.
I want to share a story about something that happened to us years ago, and it was a time when I had dreamt to go see Cirque du Soleil.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was a dream of mine. And you being a great husband one day found a great deal and you're like, babe, do you want to go see Cirque du Soleil? And I was like, I love you so much. And you got us tickets, and it was at Christmas time, and it was already extra magical, and I just could not wait to see their performance because they're known for their excellence and their epic performances. And so we get dressed up, we get a sitter, we go to the city, and we go to the venue. And I'm expecting to be sitting because usually they perform in a circle, and the audience sits around them. And so we walk in, and the venue wasn't what I expected. It was just kind of a forward-facing situation. But the thing that really threw me off was the two giant inflatable nutcrackers on either side of the stage. And it looked just so cheesy. And I was thrown off by it because I had never seen Cirque du Soleil do something with inflatables. So we sit down, I was like, whatever, maybe it's the Christmas version, and it's, and so we're sitting there, and then the show starts, and I am just kind of like, this is not what I expected. It was like meh. And it was like circus tricks, basically. Yeah. And I was like, are you sure
It was like a variety show.
It was a variety show. And I lean over, I'm like, are you sure you got us tickets to Cirque du Soleil? Like, what are we watching right now? And you go and you Google, like, we're in the middle of the show and you're Googling it. And
because I thought I was right. I was like, I got the tickets.
You got the tickets. And they had named this show Cirque Dreams.
Yes.
And so we thought this was just another version of Cirque du Soleil.
Because they have all those multiple names, whatever the different shows are.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
It was not.
They played on the name, and they got us. And it was not Cirque du Soleil. It was some kind of circus. And it was just a meh performance. And now we know what we're looking for.
It's basically America's Got Talent is what it was.
Basically. And we walked away just like, okay, well, we learned a lot.
Yeah.
And as I'm sharing that, I want to talk about the idea of excellence.
Yes.
Because whatever you're a part of, you never want to be a part of something where someone walks away and is like, meh.
Yeah.
That's, the emoji that's like, meh. You never want to have that as the experience for people as they're coming into your organization. Yes. You want them to walk away saying, wow, that was amazing. I can't get that anywhere else. And so we're going to talk about that because excellence is so important, but it's not a given.
Yeah.
And actually it's a rarity. You don't always see excellence, and that's why it really speaks to us. And Jesus was the greatest model for us for excellence.
All right.
Everything he did while he was on earth, he stayed on mission, and everything was excellently done.
Yeah.
And he did it to completion, to the point where he was willing to lay down his life for his mission.
Mm-hmm.
So he was saying, I understand the standard at which I'm supposed to be living and leading, and he did it, and he accomplished what he came on earth to do.
And I think that excellence, it starts with getting a vision.
Yeah.
Excellence starts with getting a vision and being very clear with what that vision is. I think as leaders, the excellence begins in our organization with the level of excellence that we have as we share the vision that we have to do whatever we did. I think that's what Jesus stood apart from all of the rest, where people were amazed at his teaching because it was excellent.
Yeah.
People were, wow.
Yeah.
They weren't, meh.
Right.
I mean, this guy, he could be the bread of life, maybe not. Maybe he's just kind of like a, toast cheese cracker, I mean, Jesus knew what he was doing, and he was going to cast that vision with excellence. I think I've heard that Walt Disney, when he shared the vision of what he wanted to do with Disneyland and Disney World, I mean, he was masterful at this vision. He was so excellent at it, from the illustrations that he would use, from the stories that he would tell. And to this day, Disneyland, Disney World, the whole Disney organization name is always associated with the best.
Yeah.
The best in vision, the best in delivery, the best in experience because of that great vision that he had.
And you're still seeing it play out today. I mean, I follow some people on Instagram and they're influencers, and Disney hosted them, and they went on this Disney cruise and they went to Disney World. And even on the Disney cruise, like, I am like drooling at the cupcakes that are in the display because there's so much detail and attention and time given to every little thing. It's the little touches that make something so much more elevated, so much more special.
Yeah.
And we get to be a part of that.
Have you seen these commercials recently for AT&T, and the phrase it says, we're not okay with just okay. There's some things in life where you just got to be okay with it not being okay, is what they're saying. They're saying that AT&T goes above and beyond.
Right.
That AT&T has excellence.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's something that as leaders that we've got to get to a point where we're not okay with okay.
All right.
Like, we're not okay with it just being like that. We're not okay with things just kind of being average. We're not okay with when people walk in the door that they kind of have a meh experience.
Yeah.
Man, that's got to be something that's got to get down deep in our DNA and irritate us.
Right.
Saying, I want the customers or whoever I'm delivering my service to, I want to make sure that they have the best experience. I want them to have what Zaxby's, one of our favorite chicken places from the South, it says on their receipt, their mission is to create encore experiences.
Yes.
That they want to have people come back again. They want to have people tell their friends about it because they had an encounter with excellence.
Yeah, and we're not talking about perfection here, because perfection can really be the enemy of us doing anything.
Yeah.
This excellence is different. What would you say is the difference between excellence and perfection?
Perfection is something that is unattainable because we're all human and we can't be perfect.
Right.
Excellence, I believe, is doing the best with what you have.
That's good.
It's doing the best with what you have.
Yeah.
You're saying, hey, I'm going to take what I have and I'm going to do it the best possible way I can. I think that average or mediocrity is just saying, I'm gonna be okay with just kind of whatever. Perfection is not something that we can get to in this life.
Right. And so I want to encourage people. We're not talking about, hey, you got to make it look perfect. I want to give an example.
Tell me.
For excellence. So I could hang a wreath during Christmas time and be done with the task. Or I can hang a wreath, and then I can fluff the things. My kids, they always, whenever we put the Christmas tree out, I say, before we even touch a single decoration, we fluff the tree. And they're like, ugh, because they can't stand that part. It's so annoying. It's tedious. It's boring. It's not the fun part. The fun part is putting the star on the tree. It's putting the decorations. It's making it pretty. Fluffing is the most unglamorous thing. But I tell them, it's the fluffing that makes the difference. I don't know if you've ever been around a wreath or a tree that's like smushed together and it's uneven. You see holes, and that's the difference between excellence. You make the extra, you go the extra mile in the task that you're given.
That's so good. And I think that one way that we learn excellence is getting around people of excellence.
That's good.
When you're around people of excellence, that rubs off on you. It's something that you now, okay, I got it. Okay, I see what that looks like.
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's how they do that.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to learn excellence by being under our pastor that we served with for 13 years.
Yeah.
I mean, he just had an eye for detail. He got bothered when something wasn't done the absolute best possible way he can. Why? Was he a perfectionist? No. He cared about people.
Yeah.
He cared about the vision. He cared about the mission. Yeah. See, as a church, we believe that we have the single greatest piece of information that any human being can ever hear in their whole lives.
Yes.
That Jesus Christ is God and that he died and rose again so that they could be saved.
Yes.
It's huge.
Huge.
So if we do things kind of halfway, if we just kind of meh, well, people are going to be like, well, what their message is must not be as great as they think it is, because if it was, they would treat this a little bit more special.
That's so true. And remembering that is what's going to drive us to do things with excellence. So we're not going to send out a piece of mail when there's typos in it.
Yeah.
We're not gonna put that up if there's scratches on it. We're gonna look. We're gonna have eyes. And if you don't necessarily have the eye for detail, like you said, get around people of excellence, because they're gonna call you up and they're gonna call you to be better. Another person that I think of that was just a person of excellence was Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
He was known to get up and be in the gym hours before
good.
team practice started. So he had been practicing for hours before practice even started because he wanted to make sure that he was excellent in everything he did. And being around people of excellence, don't ever miss the opportunity to ask them questions or study them. Look at what they do. When you see someone of excellence operating, you better believe there's probably hours and hours of preparation behind the scenes.
So good.
When someone is doing something at an excellent level, it's because they've prepared before they started doing it.
Talk about preparation.
And you got to understand, if you're on the worship team, you show up to practice knowing your music. If you're preaching, me and you, we don't just go up on Sunday and say whatever's on our heart. There has been hours upon hours of studying and preparation and practice before we ever go on the stage. Yeah. People see a glimpse or just a tiny fraction of how much time it took to even get prepared. Mm-hmm. When you're going in on Sunday and you have a ministry, you're not doing things that day, but you're preparing before you walk in the door.
Here's where excellence really comes from. Excellence comes from this place that you are saying, I'm not going to practice on people.
That's good.
So you practice before people arrive. So I'm not going to practice on people. Yeah. That's a great phrase to take around. It's a portable phrase. We don't practice on people here. We practice before the people arrive because we want excellence to take place. We don't want to be another Cirque Dreams.
Yeah. We don't want that experience again. And then the last thing that we want to talk about is excellence is accomplished by doing, not just planning. I think planning is important. I think that's part of being able to pull off something well. We have planning meetings. We have creative planning. We talk about things so that we can execute, because sometimes you need longer runways to pull off an idea. But there should be more doing than planning. And I think that we talk about this a lot of just moving, of you don't have to have it all together. You don't have to have all the answers. You start to figure it out as things are happening, as you're putting things together. And so you learn how to become not just doing things with excellence, but becoming a person of excellence. When I go to the store, if I see a shirt has fallen off of a hanger, I feel convicted to pick that up and put it back on the hanger and hang it up. I don't work there, but it bothers me that shirt's on the floor and it shouldn't be. And so I'm like, man, I don't have time to pick up all these shirts, but I just feel the need to make that everything that we should be around should be better by the time we left it.
Yes. And the way that we carry that, it influences other people. We actually become then culture creators in the area of excellence by just being excellent people in every form and fashion that we're in. We actually call other people up to another level. If I'm walking through the parking lot, there's a piece of trash on the ground, I'm not going to walk past it. Because I'm a person of excellence. I want this to be an excellent culture. I want people to be inspired when they get. So I'm going to go and I'm going to pick that thing up. I'm going to close those cabinets. They're open, man. I'm going to close those. I'm going to straighten that little thing right there on that table because some kids were there earlier. It's just as we're going about our business, we can lift the level of excellence everywhere that we go.
And it's in everything. It's in what we touch. It's in how we decorate. It's in how we speak.
Yes.
It's in how we lead. It's how we prepare. I mean, there's so many layers of excellence. And I'm teaching this to our kids right now, but specifically our 11-year-old daughter who comes, and she's old enough now. She is a part of Dream Teams.
Yeah.
And so I'm told her this Sunday, I'm going to train you on what I want you to look for, because you're going to start doing some of the things that I used to do. You're going to come into the building and I'm going to have you look, is this straightened? Is this refreshed? Is this filled? Are the pillows fluffed? I'm training her to have those eyes of excellence, and we need to have that as well. And we need to train our teams to have that eye. And I believe that as we do that, everything our hands touch prospers.
So good.
And people can see it.
It's not a matter of perfection, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
We're not talking about trying to be perfect here. We're just saying, hey, if there's something I see that I can do, how I can make an influence, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. And I want to close with this scripture right here, Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 9. It says, then the Lord your God will make you most prosperous in all the work of your hands and in the fruit of your womb, the young of your livestock and the crops of your land.
That's good.
He's saying in every area of your life, it's going to prosper. Your hands, whatever your hands touch, it's gonna grow. And so we need to be praying, God, let me make the most of my hands so that my hands make things more excellent. It's not just another day. This is his day.
Yes.
There are people that still need God, and there's people walking around, they're without hope, they're without life, and we have this opportunity to share this great message. And so we want to make sure that we're taking away any hindrances, any distractions, and paving a clear path so people can hear this message.
Everybody needs to hear this message, and we need to model it for others. I think that God has done that for us. I mean, anywhere in all creation that you look, you see the excellence of God.
Yes.
I mean, everything works perfectly together. Even the intricacies of when you look at a snowflake up close, they're all unique and they have these geometric designs. They're all symmetry. I mean, it's so beautiful. And God did that. And in fact, every single day as he was creating things, he said, it's good, it's good, it's good. Because he was saying, I did it with excellence. I worked with all my heart. I did the best job I possibly could. That's who we're imitating.
Yes.
We're imitating the Creator. And if he did everything with excellence, we ought to do the same thing.
I agree. And I think that all of us need to look at the gifts that God has given us and bring those to the table with our level of excellence.
Good.
Can you imagine if everyone just did their part?
Yes.
If they brought their gifts, their passions to the table, and they did it to the highest standard that they could? Man, what could we accomplish together? And so I want to challenge you this week to work with excellence, look and let God grow you. Thank you so much for being a part of this conversation today. I really enjoyed it. We hope that you'll share this with your friends, and we will join you next week on the Leadership Lab podcast.